For an old car, rust sometimes provides character. Hi, it's Bud Wilkinson. This time it's a trip back into the archives, a story from 6 years ago about a 1930 Pontiac. It has a few clues as to what it looked like when it came out of the factory. It's rusty but runs beautifully. Kit Ashelman of Falls Village, Connecticut has owned the 89-year-old four-door sedan for about 3 years. But only a true car buff can tell at a glance what it is.
It doesn't say Pontiac on it anywhere. You got to look around and you'll see the Indian head on the radiator cap, Indian head on the hubcaps. And once you start noticing all the Indian heads all over the place, people that know cars all of a sudden, oh, it's a Pontiac. And then they're like, wow, that's in nice shape for a Pontiac.
The 1930 Pontiac had been parked in a friend's garage, and Ashelman had desired it for 10 to 15 years.
I bugged him and bugged him and bugged him and never got any answer from him. And then one day he called me up and said, "You still interested?" And I said, "Yeah." "Well, why don't you get it running and see if it's good enough to drive around in?" And I went and got it.
It certainly was a project worth taking on.
Did a valve job on it, cleaned it all up, got all the mice out of it, got all the things that were dead that should have been living in and out of it. And
but it did require a lot of cleaning.
It looked good in the garage where you got it outside in the sunlight. You couldn't see through any windows. There was that much crud on the windows. Had a razor blade to windows to clean them up, but the glass is gorgeous on it. And if people see it in sunlight now, they think the windows are rolled down, but they're really up. That's how clear the glass is on it.
What's most noticeable on the car, though, is the rusty patina.
It's not beautiful if you're looking for shine, but it's a beautiful car. It's got beautiful lines.
This car does have some hints as to what it looked like originally.
The blue paint, the pinstriping on the window column, pinstripe around every window, pinstriping on the body side all the way down the whole sides, and the hood, which has got no paint on it, but you can see pinstriping on every hood louver all the way up through. And the wheels, the black pinstriping on the wheels is very visible on the wood. The paint is gone, or the varnish, whichever was there originally, but the pinstriping on every wheel is still there.
The Pontiac's powered by an inline 6-cylinder engine with split 3-cylinder heads.
A lot of power at low end and not so much power at high end at 45 miles an hour. It rides very nice. It's fairly quiet. There's hardly any rattles in the car.
While largely original, the Pontiac does have a few aftermarket parts. For instance, only one of the 4 door handles came from the factory.
This is the original door handle for the car, and the right one, it's got the lock in it on the passenger side, which is the only keyed door on the car, because in the old days you would get off on a muddy street. You'd never get out of the car on the driver's side because it's too dangerous. And the door handle, obviously you can see, is different. It's curved different, and it's way too close. You can't get your hand behind it. That's the difference in them.
The Pontiac looks great as is, and Ashelman would never consider restoring it.
There's no need to. Anybody that can't appreciate the way it is and thinks they need to paint it is wrong. And some cars, a 60s car or a 70s car, they need shine. An old car this vintage doesn't need shine, it needs to have class, and this car's got class.
Despite its age, Ashelman doesn't hesitate to drive it.
The car's got soul, and that's what you want to do, is get the old cars back together again and just driving on the road.
That's Ride Connecticut. I'm Bud Wilkinson, and please subscribe to Ride Connecticut's YouTube channel.